Hello everyone and welcome to my little Lego corner where this week been crazy busy making all these wild animals for my safari park. I made a whole list and everything and I don't know what I was thinking. All this is way out of my league. I went through all my life lessons on this one and fell into the same traps as I always do. What can I say? I just wasn't ready for this. So to catch you up, I dumbassly decided to make an entire safari park and not just a lion chasing gazelle, which would have been a good idea, right? But no, I had to make the whole park. And I've noticed I've been building quite large lately, and I think I know why. I don't know if you remember, but last year for like 8 months I built only in micro. It was a test if that could improve my attention to detail. It did not. Instead, I think it triggered this inner itch to just go full bombastic. Fantastic. Like some kind of large Lego. The main problem really was I couldn't get started. That's why I left you hanging with only 2 animals in the last video. It was like watching the cursor blink on a blank page, or watching a blank canvas unable to place the first brushstroke, in fear that it's just not going to be good enough, or it's just an unimaginable amount of animals to make all at once. And I felt at times like I was just placing the same brick on the same bronc over and over again, going nowhere, seeing nothing. It created this feedback loop of fear and frustration every time I tried to put 2 pieces together. I then realized the answer was right in front of me the whole time when I flipped over one of these Lego manuals and realized just go back to basics and make simple animals. Simple, fun animals and have fun with it. Cause I tried starting small like I've been banging on about for years and years, but it got me nowhere. So I think to keep in mind, just try to make it simple, make a skeleton or a basic shape and let your imagination in slowly and then it will come. Like the giraffe here. I couldn't leave it that simple, so I tried to flash it up a little bit, and it's still absolutely horrible, but at least it got me going. Got me into this triangle thing, which could be a Star Wars droid, but it could also be a gazelle's head. And with a simple body, that could spark something even better. And I will for a rare moment share you how I got this head, cause I tried for ages trying to figure out how to get that cone shape of a snout. And it's weird how simple it is once you actually get there. Just with these 2 pieces and a 2x3 holding it together, that did the trick. I can now add on the horns and an easy click-on for the neck and body. I do wish I didn't have to use 2 click-ons for the neck. 1 large would have been enough, but you gotta compromise somewhere in life, you know? Another added benefit of going off list and into your imagination is just letting the brick tell you what it wants to become. Like this brick here. One look at it and I knew it was gonna be an anteater. And it didn't need much to get there. Next is a change of animal halfway through. I was actually aiming for a hyena here and ended up making a bull. Unfortunately, bulls do not hang out at the savannah, so I can't include this in my final build, but I didn't want you to miss him in case you haven't dealt with enough bullshit this week. I also made a lemur in case it doesn't work. Have you tried spitting on it? Next is my absolutely favorite hack of the week, and in a rare moment I will share with you a tutorial of how I got there. So as you can see how there's this one brick tilted to the side, yeah, I needed something to stabilize that. And I think this works pretty good. Now I can build a body with a straight face. And I think this works. Now I just gotta figure out how to fill it out. Okay, maybe it's not as bad as that, but those skinny legs do look ridiculous. I think I got caught trying to make 2 or 3 different animals here. I was aiming for this, but I think I ended up making something like this. Finally, before I show you the entire park in its finished form, I will show you my favorite build of the whole project, and oddly enough, it was my first build. And I think that contributed to my later meltdown, cause if the first build is amazing, how come the second one isn't as easy, you know? And I don't know if it was some kind of weird beginner's luck, or maybe it's cause I spent 4 days on it, so I had 4 days to think about it as I was building. I did have more than 4 days in the others as well, but they were all clumped together in my head, so I couldn't separate them individually and do one at a time. I just had too much on my plate this time, and I didn't want to be building animals till Christmas. So that's why I've twiddled my list down a wee bit, but I still think this build ended up pretty cool. Before I added the animals to the park, the first thing I had to do was to add a water hole because, it is the source of life. It's weird I didn't think of it earlier. The park needs water, and it also leads to this great opportunity to add a few extra animals and fill it up with hippos. Unfortunately, they don't look right, and I think I should just make 1 good one instead of 3 bad ones. Message. I also added some green to the ground and tried to fill out around the water hole and trees especially so you could still see some of the savannah, because it could easily become a jungle with too much green out there. As far as story goes, the only thing I got going is this little hippo is about to find out what happens when you bite an anteater's tail. I'm also really happy about the anthills I managed to make out of these round tubes. And if you count them, that's at least 200 or 300 more animals right there. I will now leave this here for you to brutally judge, but I will give this probably a 7 out of 10, which means realistically it's a 5 out of 10. Not bad.
Well, that's not great, but it's not horrifying.
Not at all.
Oh, I almost forgot to show you the finished gazelle. I just filled out the skeleton with some smooth bricks and added 2 very simple horns. So that's it for me this time, and I'll leave you with this.
She call me Mr. Bombastic.
And you have a lovely day, and I'll see you later. Cheers, bye.